If you're a personal trainer, fitness coach, health coach, nutrition coach, or other health and wellness professional who wants to start and scale a profitable business in the online space, this is for you. Welcome to this brand new series I'm doing here on my channel, as well as my podcast, pulling back the curtain, showing you exactly step by step of exactly what I would do if I was starting from zero to scaling a profitable business in the online space. And by the end of this video, I'm going to show you a 30,000 foot view of a step-by-step process that I have used inside of my business to generate 50 grand to 100 grand per month in the online space. I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like and give you the blueprint. I'm your coach, Beverly Simpson. I'm a former district fitness manager for a national gym in the Manhattan and New Jersey area. I've been responsible for bringing in $2.1 million per year just in my region, as well as hiring and developing personal trainers and fitness managers. When I left, I started my own business online, building two multiple six-figure businesses and generating over seven figures in my career. And I've learned a thing or two after coaching thousands of smart and struggling coaches, both in person and online. And one of the questions that oftentimes get asked to me is this for me? If I am a brick and mortar or I'm building a gym and I want to use online strategies to grow my in-person business? Yes and no. And I will be very clear on the differences, because oftentimes brick and mortars are looking for online strategies to generate more leads, to generate more traffic. And while that's a part of it, we're going to be doing a deep dive on the differences between profitability and popularity. So I'll do my best to be clear when we're getting into those differences. Now, if you're like me and you want to take notes and you really want to make sure that you've got that blueprint by the end of this series and our time together, then click the link around this video or find it in the show notes, because I've built a guide for you that once it's completed after watching these trainings, then you'll have that step-by-step blueprint. That way you don't have to stress out about taking the notes. I've literally guided you into creating your own workbook, or when you use the workbook, you'll have your own blueprint on exactly how to start and scale a profitable business. Okay, let's get into it. So step one, understanding the foundations or the principles of business. Because what happens is most smart and struggling coaches, they end up chasing popularity metrics like likes, comments, followers, audience, because they think more people equals more business. And I get why. It does make sense. You cannot buy from the internet's best kept secrets. But going after more people without having your business back end set up, that's like trying to fill up a colander up with water. And I probably don't have to tell you that that's not effective. So we have to understand that all business needs people, prospects, purchasers. Another way of saying this is traffic, leads, customers, and clients. And most people will tell you, let's start with the people. If you've ever been on the internet before, someone said, who's your ideal client? Let's survey your audience, let's add a ton of value, and let's build know, like, and trust. And most people will teach you, build an audience, send them to a free lead magnet, then invite, and then do a launch, close your doors, put them on a wait list, and that's how you grow your business. But let me ask you, when was the last time you went to the restaurant and you demanded a free meal before ordering? Or how about going to the grocery store and there's no more avocados and putting your name on a wait list? But that's not a sustainable business model. In fact, if your business doesn't have a way to generate revenue every single day, then you're running the risk of your ideal clients, your people who are meant to work with you, who are in a problem, buying from somebody else who has no problem lying, stealing, or potentially harming your client. Because people love to buy things they hate to be sold to. This is why step two, we start with offer identification, meaning instead of doing the traditional old ways of niching, because have you ever met a mom over 40 who doesn't identify as busy? No, I haven't either. And if you really think about the customer journey of a mom or the life cycle of a mom, you have mom to be, you have mama, you have mommy, you have mom, you have grandma. And all phases of mom have different problems, likely different outcomes. And the way that you are going to help that mom go from problem that they're in to outcome that they want is likely going to be different. This is a good thing. That level of specificity is how you niche. This is how you cut through the noise. Why? Because haven't you ever heard people buy on emotion? Well, that's not the same thing But well, eliciting an emotion is not the same thing as talking about an emotion. Telling someone what to do is not the same thing as showing them how this process works. When you have that level of specificity, your person will subconsciously raise their hand and say, "You're for me." Why? Because you deeply understand the transformation they want and the problem that they're in. You've identified it, which now positions you as the authority and expert to solve it. Because most people are operating from mistakes and misconceptions. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in the problem. So step 2, get crystal clear on the outcome you want to deliver for this particular offer and this problem that you're going to solve. The more specific, the better. Why? Because it will cut through the noise and the echo chamber. And if there is a room for doubt where your client asks, "Is this for me?" A confused mind does not buy or take the next action. Clarity comes with specificity. Now, if this is challenging for you, I get it. You're not alone. This is also challenging for my clients. And I'm right now in this video, I'm giving you an overview of how this process works. And as we continue in our time together and in this series, I'll be doing deep dives on each one of these components. So not to worry, stay tuned for the next video or click the link around this video to jump right on in if you already know that you are ready to go deeper on the next topic. And if you're tuning in on the podcast, it will also be in the next episode. Okay, step 3, now that we have the offer ideation, now we need to communicate the right offer to the right person at the right time. So now that we've found essentially the messaging through the offer idea, let's go into step 4, communicating it to the right person. So we need to identify what are the problems your clients know that they're in. Then we need to take a look at what are the actions, the mistakes that they are taking to solve that problem. And then what are the misconceptions, the reasons why they take those actions to solve the problem. And then maybe we need to identify what the real problem is that either your clients don't know that they're in or they're doing all the wrong things to fix it. Then we need to identify what is the outcome that they want, not what you want them to want and not even what they need, but what is it that they really want? Now, this can sometimes feel muddled, nuanced, and confusing, and here's why. Because your clients sometimes can have wants, desires that are harmful and hurtful to them. And the reason why they want those harmful and hurtful outcomes and desires are because they're inundated with messaging that is unrealistic, with messaging and imagery that isn't even real with the help of AI or with the help of Photoshop or with the help of magazines. And people will often want goals that are harmful to them. So smart and struggling coaches will oftentimes feel conflicted because what they want is their clients to want something different. But here's what happens. If you do not meet your client where they are, they will not get on board with your solution. They will not get on board with your products because no one, and I mean no one, will buy something that they don't want to solve a problem they don't think they're in. So your job then becomes, how do you shift their perspective? How can you show them, not tell them, that there's a better way? How can you help them see that what they really want is not going to cost them mental, physical, or emotional health? That's the work. And that can be hard. Then step 5, we need to look at our own specific process and how we help people get from where they are to where they want. Now, people will often say the market is saturated, but what they really mean is the market requires sophistication in your messaging. Because remember, people are in a problem. And most people are doing all the wrong things for all the wrong reasons to solve the problem. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in it. So if you think your work doesn't matter, I want to remind you that we are having a health crisis in the United States. So it's easy to think your people don't need you. But if they don't buy from you, then who? Now, step 6, we execute the rapid lane launch. This is a 7 to 14 day process that I carry my accelerator clients through so that they can get a cash infusion. This does 3 things. It validates the offer idea. It gives you a cash infusion. It also helps you identify whether or not you have access to your ideal clients. Because if you don't, then we move into step 7, where we set up the systems to scale. This is where most people start, when in fact, we got to get steps 1 through 6 first And then we will begin to grow your audience to generate the revenue. Then step 7, we'll set up the systems to scale. So what we're looking at now, up until this point, is looking at the structure of the business. Now, most people have their business set up on sand where they are relying on hustle, grind, and grit. And that it works, but it will only take you so far. And if you continue down that path, you often will lead to burnout, begging for clients, and never feeling like you are generating revenue that is sustainable. So instead, what I like to teach my clients to do is build a strong foundation instead of sand, where you find a way to create the predictable, sustainable, and consistent revenue that gets you time back and doesn't sacrifice client results. And you don't have to rely on old, outdated sales tactics like spam DMing people, like grinding, grit, and pounding on pavement. Now, those are great and excellent skills, but they are not long-term solutions for sustainable business. So once you have the structure outlined, and for me, I like my clients to build paid lead acquisitions where we grow audience, move them to something that's free with a low ticket ask or direct to low ticket, where we use low ticket leads, invite them to a sales mechanism where you present the premium offer that we just built, and then we build this pressure-free, sustainable, this pressure-free sales system that takes what it takes until it takes. Why? Because if people say no to your premium offer, then you move them to the low-ticket offer. Your business generates revenue, and it just becomes a sales cycle that works. Then once you have those systems down, then you use the strategy of how you are going to grow the business, and then the support that the CEO needs and the business needs to scale it. Now, once you have all of this foundation all laid out, then you can grow to 2K a month, 10K a month, 50K a month, 100K a month. It doesn't really matter. The sky's the limit because now the foundation is solid. And people will often ask, well, what changes as I get to the next level? Well, we all have blind spots and roadblocks. And it often starts with, can the business support scale, both from the CEO perspective as well as the actual fulfillment and operations? Then we need to look at the strategy. Is the strategy that we've picked sustainable? Are the performance metrics working? Are we profitable or are we popular? Are the systems locked in from a foundation that is solid or is it leaky? And many times people are actually trying to grow a business from a sand foundation instead of a strong concrete foundation. So if you're curious what this actually looks like and how to build this inside of your business, then join me inside of this free training where there's nothing to buy. It's called Simple Scaling, and I'll show you exactly how we can implement this system into your business, which you can find in the show notes, or you can click the link around this video and join me live. And I will show you how this works. And there's literally nothing to buy. There's no recordings. So register, show up live, and I'll show you exactly how to do this. Otherwise, tune in to the next episode or click the link around this video for the next episode on the very next step. Because now that we have these steps laid out, let's do a deep dive on each one. And I'll show you exactly how to start generating revenue today. Because lastly, what pulls this all together is putting this hybrid sales system in place where you make sales every single day, even when you're sleeping. So great job here, and I'll catch you on the next episode.